I always say to my barbers when everyone comes for me, I say, we have 5 things we always need to remember that you have to do. One, we have to provide quality. You need to be motivated, you need to be professional, you need to be respectable, and you need to be friendly. So they're very, very important to maintain, and it's about having your identity. So it's always, even for me, I try not to lose sight. Because sometimes you get complacent with everything happens, a little bit of
Sure.
how success and everything. So it's always about staying grounded. But I have also my clients to thank for that to keep me grounded. They always because the people you build and everything, your clients you have, you build relationship with them, and you go out for a drink. You eventually meet their families, they meet mine. It goes all around, and it's just trying to stay true to all of that.
Hello, and welcome back to the Face It podcast, run by Faces Consent, an app by practitioners for practitioners. I'm your host, Jess, and today we, of course, bring a brand new face to the podcast, but a little bit of housekeeping before we get stuck in. We have recently rolled out Faces Verified, a brand new verification scheme on the app. If you want clients to know that you are insured, qualified, and a trusted service provider, you could grab yourself an extra £50 credit in your Faces shop wallet, and you can do this by submitting your documentation and getting yourself that verification badge. You can do this now in app. Don't forget, you can rate, review, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. It helps us immensely. There's so much information now, tips, industry advice available on this podcast as we make it into our 120th episode. If you'd like the chance to come and chat to me about your experiences, share your story and your expertise, then of course you can let me know. You can find us on Instagram at FaceItPod or message me personally at Jess_Messenger. That's Messenger, ENGER. It is now, though, time to introduce our guest today. So I want to say a warm welcome to Aldo from Aldo's Barbershop. Welcome to the Face It podcast.
I'm happy to be here, Jess. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you
Looking
so much for
forward
coming
to
on.
have a chat with
No,
you.
we've been looking forward to having you as well, Aldo. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
on. You are absolutely smashing it at the moment, from my point of view. How did you get into barbering? Was it always something that you wanted to do?
Not really. It's a bit of a long story, but I'll try and keep it short. And then, ideally, first, when everyone thought about becoming a barber, I was something like, "Oh no, I don't want to be a barber." I was a bit like low grading. Then I was so wrong. I ended up getting into barbering in prison. I ended up going to prison, and I
Mm,
picked it up as a hobby. And from a hobby, it became a passion. And ever since I've done that, it saved my life.
wow.
And now is one thing that I really enjoy the most. Barbering now has become such a big thing. It's not like how I used to perceive it, which I think, oh, I can't be doing barberism. Now it's such a big standard and such a high standard in barbering and
Yeah.
hairdressing and the beauty industry. And you can work anywhere in the world and you can make something of it wherever you are. And as for my personal experience, it's definitely helped me so much. It's given me so much with the people in the industry,
Mm.
barbering itself, the clients, everyone. I would say barbering saved my life, and it changed my
I,
life
I,
for the
I
better.
feel that, Aldo. That's really, like, I didn't know that, and I didn't know the beginnings of how you got into barbering, and I think that cuts through in your social media, that passion and
Yeah.
that impact that the skill and the job has had on your life massively. So yeah, well done for bringing that
Thank you,
into her
thank you. Really
space.
appreciate it. But yeah, I do love it. I enjoy it. It's something that like, I didn't expect I would have a passion for. Because
Mm,
obviously you don't know where you might get your passion from or where it might come. You were always trying to search for something like that we're passionate, we will enjoy working with or doing.
mm,
And some people are still searching for it. So I was lucky enough and blessed to find it. Obviously, the circumstances are a bit different. I ended up finding it in prison, but
mm,
I'm thankful for all of it. Everything is an experience in life. So it's just whatever you make of it while you're going through life and
mm.
making sure you grab all the opportunities that are presented to you and make the most of them. And I did, and I'm grateful for it. And ever since, barbering has been the most amazing thing for me, for my family, for me, for the industry, everything. I love everything about it.
What is it you love most about it? Is it that connection that you have to other people? Is it that sort of one-on-one contact? Like what's the fulfilling side of barbering that's not just about cutting hair?
Um, the thing I love about the most is I get to meet so many different individuals from so many different category of life.
Mm,
And we get to talk about anything and everything. And there's the one place that we, as men or females, wherever, even if it's hairdressing, wherever, where we feel comfortable and
mm,
relaxed, and we can forget about our everything, daily lives, families, everything, and just be about ourselves. That 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever time it be, is just our selfish little time for ourselves where we can just switch off,
yeah,
and it's like a therapy. It's like relaxation, and just be able to talk about anything and not being judged. Yeah, it's
I
just
love that.
amazing just to have that feeling and feel good about yourself, and then just have a nice haircut, have a nice treatment, and then you just leave out fresh, like you don't have a lot of weight under your shoulders no more. So it's that
I
feeling.
totally agree, and I feel like I've only had that connection to treatments in the last couple of years. I think I always
Yeah,
saw it as a bit of an inconvenience in my day. It was like I had to go and sit and have my nails done for like an hour and a half, and how am I going to fit that in my day? And actually, the last couple of years, I've really started to appreciate that selfish
that
little
time
bit
for
of
yourself.
time. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
and now I love it. I can't wait to jump on someone's chair and have a bit of Botox or having I can't wait because it's just 15, 20 minutes of me just lying there and not having to, touch my laptop or, be doing some work or so yeah, I completely agree, Aldo.
Mm. Yeah, like my clients love it. We can talk about football, politics, everything. We try and stay off the topic of politics and religion. Them two always trying to. But we always talk about just anything and everything, and no one can judge. Always we try and keep it respectful, and just a very
Mm,
good atmosphere with nice vibes and very positive atmosphere. It's very important to have a positive atmosphere,
yeah.
and we also try and give a drink to clients for ourselves, have a coffee. But clients tend to have like a beer or water or an orange, just something there for like a little touch so they can feel relaxed and
Mm.
just enjoy themselves and just forget about everything. So it's like more like an experience now instead of just a service.
Do you find that men have been opening up a little bit more while we're on the topic of men? Because obviously it's
Definitely.
quite a big subject at the moment about men's mental health and men not feeling like they've got anywhere where they can go and talk to someone. Have you witnessed that, within your barbershop?
For sure, the 100%. I get men talking about their mental health a lot, about
Mm,
things they're going with their families, mortgages, work, all of that, because they just want to be able to feel comfortable to talk to someone about all of this without someone judging or telling them we're being scared. Because I don't judge people. Like obviously,
mm,
I've been through obviously like prison and so many things in my life, so I'm not a person to judge, and I don't like to judge.
mm,
Everyone has their own story, everyone has their own book, and it's incredible to hear everyone's stories and everything. And everyone's got their own problems, so it's like a safe environment where they feel comfortable to talk. So for me, I feel honored. They're able to talk about their feelings and their mental health, and if I'm able to make them a laugh or just make them to reassure them there's nothing to worry or just type of thing, everything will be all right. And so and then now I see that a lot more often because everyone's
mm,
worried, and the biggest worry is always financial. That's
mm.
always the biggest worry that they have. But it's a massive, massive difference for what barbering used to be when I was a kid, when I used to go with my dad, to compare to what it is now. For men, is more about like a therapist than a
Mm,
barber in a way. But you can't, we men sometimes are proud, we can't say a therapist. So it's
mm.
easier and cheaper to go to the barbershop than the therapist.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
so
but
true.
no, it's definitely more become like a mental well-being for us men in general. Just going to get a trim, forget
Mm,
about everything. It's an experience. Have a drink, talk about football, anything in general, whatever it is. Sometimes they just want an opinion, even if it's right or wrong. They know
mm.
what to do themselves. They just need to get it out.
Yeah, they just need to actually voice whatever it is going on inside them.
Yeah,
And I think you are in the best place position to offer that kind of service, where it is that space people can come and just have a vent, have a moment to themselves. I think you're the best person for that, which explains why you're doing well. And it brings me on to my next point about social media a little bit. Actually, I don't feel you see as many barbers making as much effort with their social media as you do. Was this a strategic decision early on in opening your space, or was that just something that happened organically?
So I kind of knew what I wanted from a barbershop. So it's understanding and knowing your identity and who you are, first of all. That's always comes with it. It's just being true to yourself and who you are and what you're about. Because whether, if you're not, everything will come out. You can't hide anything and you will always forget what you're trying to say, what you're trying to remember.
Mm,
So for me, it was always, I always knew what I wanted from a barbershop. I wanted that old school feeling back again where I remember going with my dad. It used to be fun to go in a barbershop.
mm,
You wanted to go into the barbershops because you can meet people that you will know there. You can talk with one another, have a laugh, and it's just a
mm,
good vibe and an atmosphere. And I wanted that back, and I wanted to keep it simple, and I wanted to make sure. So everything that I've done with my barbering, social media, and everything is just making sure to show like what we do, as in what we're about, which is simplicity and just being positive and just offering quality haircuts with a nice atmosphere, vibing and have a drink and just relax and just be about you.
mm,
And it was important just to remember them identities that we have. So I always say to my barbers when everyone comes for me, I say we have five things we always need to remember that you have to do. One, we have to provide quality. You need to be motivated, you need to be professional, you need to be respectable, and you need to be friendly.
mm,
Yeah? So they're very, very important to maintain and that. So it's about having your identity. So it's always, even for me, I try not to lose sight. Because sometimes you get complacent with everything happens, a little bit of
sure.
how success and everything. So it's always about staying grounded. But I have also my clients to thank for that to keep me grounded. They always, because the people you build and everything, your clients you have, you build relationship with them, and
Mm,
you go out for a drink. You eventually meet their families, they meet mine. It goes all around, and it's just trying to stay true to all of that
mm,
and not to like get complacent. And I'm not trying to chase fame. I'm not looking for fame. I'm not looking for likes. I'm not looking for videos. Like the social media aspect is nice, is good, but it's just good for like as in just to show who I am, what I'm about. But it's not my real work. It's
mm.
just like obviously it's important for the business and the identity of the business, as the face of the business. But my business is in the main shop where I'm there every day working and being
Mm.
with my clients, cutting hair, talking with them. That's always the main success, and they are my success.
Yeah, it's true, and I don't think you can get better than word of mouth. So if you're delivering that 5-star service and experience that you're aiming for, then you're always going to get more recommendations in the community anyway. People are always going to go and say, "Well, you need to go to Aldo's."
Yeah, for sure. And it's important to listen to them as well, because that's
Mm,
also from one thing I'm also good at is listening to what they want and what they are asking for. So it's important to listen to their needs and what they want and they need. So like when I read sometimes the reviews and they give me and like something like it's like wow, it's like okay, I'm doing something right. It's not like I'm not doing wrong. But I'm
mm,
also not afraid from criticism. So if someone says it like, "Oh, this is not okay, no worries," I might implement, take it off, and try something different. Well, like anything is taken on board. So I always have it like an open policy. Don't be scared to say what you think.
mm.
Always just tell us. It's important
Yeah.
just to tell us exactly how you feel because I'm sure you've come across, or maybe we're all done it, including yourself. I know I've done it. Where I've been to a barbershop, I was like, "Yeah, it looks amazing, it's good." Like, I've gone outside, it's like, "Oh my God, he's messed me up."
I've done it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've done it.
uh, I've seen
Yeah.
my missus, my sister-in-law, everyone. They go like going to hairdressers. It's like they're going like paying a lot of money, come outside, they're crying. I was like, "What's wrong?" It's like, I hate it. I hate
Mm.
it. But like, that's not what you said earlier. I know, but I was in
Yeah,
front of it. I
yeah.
can't
If
do it.
you're not
Why don't you say
communicating,
something when you're there?
yeah.
So I've always made it important when someone's there with us, they're free to like themselves and tell us how it is. There's no like feeling hurt or anything like that. And it's important since they're paying and everything like that. I want them to be as comfortable as possible and as honest as possible because that will help us to improve whatever we do.
I think that's really, really quite rare, actually, to be able to build an environment. And it's funny you've said that because it's true. I've definitely done the same thing. And I know multiple people who have done the same thing. And it's because the environment doesn't foster that that safety to have, that honest communication with your
Yeah,
barber or
you
with
feel like
your
you're being
hairdresser.
judged a lot.
Yeah, so the environment isn't right for it, which I think is where, where you are doing some amazing, quite unusual work there to do with your environment, and that's gonna allow people to be able to be, a bit more honest maybe in their feelings
Yeah,
about the treatment. So, yeah, kudos to you for building that. That's amazing. Um,
thank you.
how has showing the journey of your clients on your social media helped in building your business? Has the social helped in bringing in more clients?
Yeah, for sure. Social helps. Like social now is a new way of. It's a bit like when the internet first took over. Or I
Mm,
remember when even YouTube first started. Like, I mean, YouTube used to be in like a file. You had to click on the folder. There was no images. There was nothing. You have to like try and find where you will come up. So now it just makes it a lot easier because everyone's on socials, Instagram. Uh, but I'm not that great at socials. I think I'm okay. But I'm not that great. I only have Instagram, Facebook. That's as much as I can manage. Yeah,
yeah, keep it
like
simple.
I get a lot of people tell me about Snapchat and all this. I have no idea. I do not know how to use it. I do have a social media manager as well that he helps me type of thing. So we work together, and but he also allows me to work more. Well, he creates content, I create content, I give him content, he makes content, and we put it together. We create ideas. But that helps a lot in a way of connecting with people, connecting with my clients because they're being there, and it's a platform for me to keep them informed
Mm,
or give them something back to them as well at the same time, whether it's location or connecting with people like such as yourself or other people in the industry, which I like and I enjoy. So type of thing, and the industry we're on is so amazing. So if we can connect with other people and just make the reach even more, is enjoyable because I remember when I first started, my tutor says our industry is one of the happiest industry in the world, and
mm,
it was true.
mm,
So that's why I enjoy like being on the platform. And without the social media, it's hard for everyone to see us
mm,
because it was back into that mentality when I said like before, if I was going to become a barber, I was like, no, that looks low. But now the social
mm.
media has made everything so bigger for us and so much better. Like a majority of barbers now seen as celebrities.
Yeah, I mean,
So see,
it's quite the respectable profession now, like you say.
yeah,
I feel like it's really had, a bit of a moment in the last 5 years, for
a
sure.
massive moment, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Such as like barbers like A-Star Barber, obviously works for with a lot of the footballs, HD Cuts,
mm,
Hayden Cassidy, Lee Stafford,
mm,
the A-Rod, Josh OP, and you got Josh earlier, you got Men Inspire Academy. There's so many like out there now. It's just growing and growing, and it's only going to get bigger,
mm,
and it's only going to grow even further more. And it's definitely like a billion pound industry and growing even more.
mm,
Like because it just is connected so much to entire mental health and well-being, to
mm.
just look good, feel good about ourselves, just about anything and everything. Just it feels like it's our safety net, our safety place of
Yeah.
safety where we can go and just it's just us, no matter
Yeah.
how short it is or long it is.
And I feel like as well, men as a demographic tend to be pretty loyal. Once they've kind of found their barber and they get on with that guy and he does a good cut and, the atmosphere's right, they're pretty loyal. They will just
They
keep
are.
coming back. Yeah.
They are loyal, yeah, but they're very loyal. But you also got to have like a sort of like a connection. Because
Yeah.
sometimes you might find a barber, he's very good at his work, but you don't have a connection as people that you might get on. You might do a good job, but then you're not really like enjoying it because you're
Mm,
just sitting there quiet, or you don't know. Maybe some people are. So there is that loyalty. That's why when you find something, but you also like there's a connection with barber and the barber connecting with his clients and
mm.
looking after his clients is very important as well. And then
How do
the
you,
loyalty comes a bit as well.
how do you kind of there's a bit of a dance to be done, isn't there, as a barber and a hairdresser, of understanding when the client is quite a chatty client and wants to have the conversation, or are they the
Yeah,
kind of client that likes to sit there in silence and just be, looked after?
yeah.
How do you do that dance when you've got a brand new client in your chair and you're just trying to work out who is this individual? Like, what kind of service do I need to provide this person?
I think you do it well, and that's the prime example of it, which is very basic. Open and close questions.
Mm,
So if the guy you ask him very simple questions, how was your day? If he wants to talk, he will tell you a lot about his day. He's very how are you and thing, and like he will talk or he will ask questions. So simple question would quite generally able to tell you from right from the beginning if the client wants to
mm,
talk or not.
mm,
If he wants to talk, he will talk and he will ask you questions. And
mm,
you can create topics and some such things and like, or if you build a relationship with one another, you know the client and he knows you. You even know his habits, or you don't even need to hear anymore from what he wants. But it's always mostly about open and closed questions. So ask him an
sure.
open questions. If he gives you a closed answer, he doesn't want to talk.
That's your
If he
answer.
gives, otherwise he will talk a lot. It's mostly
I
on
like
that.
that. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So, was it always a dream to have your own space? And how did if it wasn't, how did you decide to open your own space? Did you start off barbering at other places? Did you come straight out and open your own shop? Like, how did it work, Aldo?
So when obviously I did barbering when I was inside, and I did
Yeah.
hairdressing as well. So I did barbering, hairdressing. I did all. I wanted to learn everything about
Mm,
barbering, hairdressing, anything to do with hair. I learned all of it, even threading. I learned all
wow.
the bits. So I'm qualified in hairdressing, barbering, all of it. I just wanted to know everything involved to do with hair, how it works, what it is, what's the difference between females, men's, and everything.
Mm,
And that was my first thought, is just to learn first. And then I always wanted my own shop. That was always the case. Like I said,
mm,
trying to remember, like when you get into it, you always want something that's yours and everything, but
mm,
it's not an easy thing to do. So I was not going to go and embark on the whole idea just to straight away to open myself.
mm,
First, I want to understand the industry, just like I did hairdressing, barbering. I want to understand the workspace, how it works, how the business works, because you just can't go blindfolded. You need to
mm,
understand or be in it. So when I got out, I was qualified in all aspects. I've taught myself quite a lot. And then I went colleges as well because they offer programs in which you can do as well. And
mm,
I'm very grateful for that. So I went outside and I worked in a few barbershops. I had loads of interviews, went to so many different barbers, and it wasn't an easy journey. In some places, I got took advantage a lot because
mm,
everyone promises you the world.
mm,
Yeah, but no one ever tells you the truth how it is or anything like that. Because some will say, "Oh yeah, you make a lot of money, you will be good, and you do this and you do that." Then when you
mm,
actually work, you're making money, but they're taking your money.
mm,
Yeah, but there's no protection for barbers or anything like that. The industry like is growing, but there isn't. It is becoming more aware and trying to offer so. And then I jumped around a few barbershops like this, and I'm starting to understand how it works, how the other business work, and what's what. Then eventually I landed in the barbershop in Purley. Tony is his name, like Greek Cypriot, one of the best people I've ever worked for. So if
mm.
he sees this, Tony, hello. Honestly, he gave me the biggest like belief in myself.
Yeah.
I went and worked him, so I didn't have anything. I just told him what I can do. And obviously, when in our industry, you say what you can do, but you have to show it.
Mm,
So I went in, I did my work. He was impressed. I worked there for 2, 3 months, and then he was more impressed. And he's like, he had two shops. He's like, here's the keys. Do just do yourself work, look after it. So I
wow.
worked there for 2.5 years, and I worked quite hard, and I got to understand how it all works.
Mm,
And I really enjoyed it even more. I met a lot more people, and this was in London, and it became very good, successful. And he was a very successful in his own shop, which was an amazing shop, by the way. And then from there on, after being 2.5 years with him, I was like, I realized that what I'm doing is pretty much what I want to do, and it
Mm,
works. So the system I want to do and implement and everything, it works, and I'm already doing it for someone else. I'm just not doing it for myself, and I'm not the one paying the bills.
mm,
So they gave me the encouragement to like look and want to do it. But in London, it's not that easy to do because
no.
in London, everything's expensive: rent,
Mm,
uh, business rates, bills, everything adds up. So you have to do work out also your numbers. Numbers tells you a story, what you can afford, what you be capable to do, and so on. And I moved out of London and I came to Bristol, opened my own shop. And I was still working at Tony's, the barbershop apparently it's called. Still working at this, and I was traveling back and forth on my
wow.
2 days off. That was thing from January till February. Well, I
Mm,
opened in March, so until end of February. My 2 days off, I would come fix the shop, work on the shop, try and fix it, and get it all ready and set and everything. Um, and it's not been an easy journey, but it was been well enjoyable.
mm,
And then eventually I moved. I left Tony's. I didn't want to leave, but I had to leave. I left there. I came to the shop. I opened on the 5th of March, and that was incredible just to have your dream finally realized and your shop is
yeah,
open, ready to go.
you've done
And
it.
when
You've
that
finally done it.
finally done it, it wasn't. But now the other thing is like I've done it, but it's more hard work now because now
Yeah. Now I've got to get
everything
the
is on me.
clients.
So I've got
Yeah.
no clients. I've left everything in London and everyone in London. So I'm in a
Mm,
new city by myself, just opened a new shop.
mm,
And but I purposely also opened in summer, which is March time, so it's because that's normally the busiest period. And thought I can enjoy myself. I can read a book. I will try and do whatever I can to catch people's attention. So I would sit outside, read a book, or like sometimes I even get a shisha, go
yeah,
outside, sit in a shisha, anything to try and catch attention.
yeah,
Because people now are so clued in their phone and the social media, everything, so no one really looks around. But if you see
yeah.
something out of the normal, people catch an eye.
Brilliant.
And everyone was the game now who wanted to try and keep me busy. And then eventually just start growing little by little and just by staying true to myself and being who I am. And then, yeah, 5.5 years later, now here we are.
Well done, Aldo. That's
Thank
incredible. What a
you.
story and like what a journey. I mean, I know literally nothing about barbering. It's not my background at all, so I find it very, very interesting. But you know, how has the industry evolved over the past 5 or 10 years?
It's evolved massively. When it comes to products, it keeps changing constantly.
Mm.
So it used to be gel. Remember gel?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah. It used to be all about gel. Then it
Yeah.
was hairspray. Then it was about waxes. Now waxes is going away. It's all about hair powder now. And then
Mm.
sea salt spray, a little bit of hairspray, mullets will come back. So
Yeah.
it just constantly changes and evolves. But you're not sure, like it's changed for the better, like in products and everything. But you never really truly know where like it's trying to go because it
Mm.
just everything changes. You're just adapting and evolving with it. It's hard to predict where it might go, but like it's been a massive change for the better for sure. Because everyone is trying to do better and better. It's not like just open a shop, put a chair in, let it
Yeah.
look however it looks, just cut a 5 minute haircut, and bro, everyone's trying to be the next Josh
Mm.
or Lee Stafford or Hayden Cassidy. There's so many other famous celebrity barbers like HD Cuts or A Star. Everyone's trying to be the next top barber,
Mm.
and everyone's trying to be working with celebrities or footballers. Everyone's trying to catch attention, and everyone's trying to do great haircuts, great artworks. Because it's like become an artistic thing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that desire to kind of be that next big thing is what's really elevated the industry as a whole? Because the
For
standard is
sure,
so much better than it was, 10 years ago.
for sure,
It's
the
sort of
standards is high.
yeah,
Is I've never seen the standards so high
no.
before at all. Like this, the standard is so high. I was like, it's incredible, and it's amazing to see that. It
Mm,
is truly amazing, and everyone just keeps pushing each other, and
mm.
it just keeps going higher. And it's definitely the standards going to go higher and higher. for sure.
Yeah, I completely agree. So, how do you expand on or build on a shop? What are the opportunities that are available to yourself, to people once they've opened their shop? Where do you go from there?
So once you go and shop and establish yourself, it's about what do you want. Everyone has different ambitions or different wants. Like for me, is I can't say that it's like opening another shop. I
Mm,
like to look after where I got and maintain where I got. If I can make that shop bigger, great. But I would not want multiple shops. Excuse me. If I did, I would want to like see if possible and everything because the more shops and more things you expand on, the harder the fall will be.
the riskier, yeah.
Yeah. So look after what makes you good and what you makes you earn and what. So look after what works for you, and that what works, don't mess it up.
Mm,
Nourish it, care for it, and you'll keep growing. Because some people sometimes get a bit complacent and think like, "Oh, I'm doing well. I need to get another one, and I need to get another
mm,
one, and I need to get another one." And then I've seen many happen all of a sudden. It's not because the biggest problem that we will have in any employer, whether it's barbershop or any industry, is staff.
mm,
It's just the staff is just not possible to get anymore anywhere.
mm,
That's the biggest problem you have. So if, for me, to try and think of opening another shop is just not even contemplating the idea at all. If I'm going to open another shop, I'm just going to move the existing shop that I have to a bigger premises.
yeah.
Yes, so then I can add and make a bit more different service or like different things where I can maybe use tattooing
Mm,
and nails or something like that
mm,
with the colors and barbering, but we can make it like at the same time just separate the spaces a bit. Like we need a massive space
mm,
where people can come in like one place and just have a coffee, have a drink, compliment drinks, and relax, have a conversation,
mm,
that kind of thing. Because just staying true to what you're about and not getting lost on how you want to do it or what you want to do. And for me, I would never ever entertain the idea of like just opening multiple shops
mm.
because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is. It's a massive amount of work. What
Yeah.
advice would you give someone considering a career in barbering?
First, I would say is try and enter like a course, whether it's barbering or hairdressing in colleges or wherever it is. And that first year is not like so you become a barber or you will become a hairdresser. That's just to understand if it's something that you want to do. Because I've had a lot of people say, "Yeah, I want to do this. This is all I care about and want to do." After 2 months, yeah, this is not what I want to do.
Mm,
So it's a lot of that. So instead of wasting time or for yourself or anyone, go to career college, see, because it will not
mm,
cost anyone any money or anything like that. You might have a qualification at the end of it. You might use it for who knows what. It will always come in handy to have a qualification. But
mm.
it gives you a better understanding if it's something you want to do. And it also gives you a better entrance into the
A broader
industry.
knowledge as well, isn't there? Like,
Yeah,
you get
so
to have a go
it
at
gives you
everything.
knowledge how it works, what does it work. Because a lot of the people doesn't understand the theory of the hair, how it
Mm,
works, what all the bits and bobs behind it. They just want to see some cut, and everyone's like rushing to cut hair. So the best thing is always to try and understand if it's something you want to do, and then just read up on people, or because everyone's got career things, or everyone's offering apprenticeship or anything. But it's always on an individual, on the person. Everyone invests in a person, not on what they're able to do. It's like the personality, the professionalism, all of that. That's what matters most than anything. For me, I always look, if I'm going to hire someone, I'm trying to look at them as a person. Because I
mm,
can teach anyone. If I have the ambition or the want or the drive, you can be able to teach anyone quite easily. So
mm.
always look if the person is worth investing in.
Yeah.
So
How are apprenticeships now? Has that changed for hairdressing or barbering over the years, or is that
it's
still
changed a
sort of
lot.
yeah.
Not many people want to. A lot of barbers that I know as well in all the industries, no one is trying to go more into the apprenticeship system
Mm, mm,
or go through that route because it's just a lot. It costs a lot of money and a lot of time.
mm.
And at the end of it, you spend all that time and effort in an apprenticeship for a year, year and a half, 2 years, and in the end of it, they're just gone.
Yeah.
So you put in all that effort in someone, and then they're gone, and
Mm.
it's getting a bit frustrating in that kind of terms and all that. It's sad to see, but hopefully maybe it will change. But it's all I think also to do with just everyone wants to be a millionaire by tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah.
Everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be like everything, like not they don't want to do the work. They're just seeing everyone, but no one's seeing the actual work behind the scene. They're just, I want that. Why does he have it?
Mm.
I want that. I want it tomorrow. So, like for example, you're very good at what you're doing. But even you've come across a lot of people like, oh, if Jess can do it, I can do it. I'm going to do
Sure.
just what Jess did by tomorrow.
Mm.
It just doesn't work like that. There's a
No,
lot of way you have to go through. And the same
absolutely.
thing with the apprenticeship scheme at the moment.
So if someone was wanted to come into the industry now, if they were to go to college and do a qualification, would they be able to then leave and go and seek employment from a
For sure.
salon? Yeah, so that
Yeah,
would be a good route.
it would be a very good route
Mm,
because that first year, it just shows. It's a bit like uni. You get a degree at uni, but the only thing that we get from uni or college, whether you finished or something, it shows that your timekeeping is good. So that's the
mm,
one thing I always look for. Is timekeeping good? You started something that you wasn't sure you were gonna do, but you finished it.
mm,
Yeah? And then at the end of it, do you enjoy it or do you still want to do it? If the answer is yes, those are the correct things, then that is what you're for. So therefore, you're more than welcome, because
mm,
anyone's going to train you the way they want
mm,
you. No one's expecting you to be how you've been trained in college or anything. Everyone will train you their way and how they want you to be and how you want to go
mm,
ahead. For them programs, they do work as well. There's nothing wrong with the program. Just
mm.
people, the perception of it is a bit wrong sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
for sure, and for someone who, I'm not in that industry, so I definitely misunderstood the perception of having the sort of college route versus the apprenticeship route. So it's been quite interesting to listen to you sort of explain it today. But we'll move on back onto yourself a little bit, Aldo. So, you guys won Barbershop of the Year. What tips would you
Mm.
give budding participants, who are looking to try and get into the awards program side of things?
So
Congratulations, by the way, for winning that.
thank you, appreciate that. The simple advice is just don't be afraid to enter and put yourself out there.
Mm,
Look, it doesn't matter. I was not expecting anything from any of the awards or anything. I wasn't expecting it, but I was just not scared just to put myself out there and just never be
mm,
scared of putting yourself out there. Look, because we're all scared to being judged. I'm not. Like, I don't care if people judge me or anything like that. I like it, whether it's good, bad, whatever. It's it brings me into people's eyes. It
mm,
gets me noticed. Yeah. So, well, the best thing I can say to them is just don't be scared to put yourself out there. All you can do is try. If you
mm.
fail, then you know where you went wrong. You can fix it. At
Yeah,
least
you
you
know
know
where
where you
you're
went
at.
wrong, and then try again. Because the people will give you uh, like criticism or and everything like that, but it's constructive. Everything is good, even the bad is good, because then you're like, oh, I can fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Mm,
just put it out there. I encourage everyone that I've had, all my apprentices, all my barbers, even though I've done it myself. I said, look, you put enter as well.
mm.
Don't worry about anything like no, just enter it. If you don't try, you will never know. And you always have that hanging over your head. Is it what if? What if?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't do it, you will never know. Just do it.
Half the battle is just entering, I think. A
Yeah.
lot of these applications are quite lengthy, they take a lot of time and commitment, and I always say to people, you've beat half of the competition just by going through the application process itself and actually
Yeah.
getting to the end, actually completing it.
Exactly. And then you get to have a nice party after as well. And you get to
Yeah.
meet a lot of people in the industry and just have a great time.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's worth it just for the party at the end, isn't it, Aldo?
It is. I love that bit.
How can you develop your skills as a barber and continue honing your craft? So you've qualified, you've been barbering for a number of years. What opportunities are there for people to be able to sort of continue to develop their skills as a barber?
Um, it's just the opportunity there is not like there's a limit. They're
Mm,
unlimited. It's just for me is I can't say I know everything, and no one will ever hear me say I know everything because I never do. There's always something to learn. Like
Mm.
I will always learn. I'm always learning. I will learn even from an apprentice, even from a starter. It never stops. The moment that I stop thinking that I know everything, I'm no longer in the industry. I've just given up.
Mm.
So it's always trying to find something how to improve my craft. Like I'm constantly like practicing different methods, different ways. Even the way I cut is very different to the majority of other barbers. I have
Mm.
people that are confused. They're already telling me you're gonna fade this, you're gonna do that. I haven't even started. Just be patient. It's just I have a different process. But
Yeah.
more constantly experimenting even on my clients. They have no idea that I'm doing it.
Mm.
The thing is normal. I'm just constantly trying to improve my skills or experiment with something different or new or learn a technique or just by looking on social media or different barbers because we're all learning from one another. It never stops.
Sure.
So
Are there masterclasses and things that you can take? Is that like a booming part of the industry at the moment with other barbers and hairdressers offering their own training and masterclasses?
there are so many master classes that you can
Mm.
do and follow, like some of the barbers I've mentioned. They'd be great to go and do. There's another guy called Mendoza. And those academies as well. Sweeney Toms that have in Cheltenham, I think. There's obviously many kind of like Josh Menspire, they got academy, Lee Stafford's academy, Hayden Cassidy, she does tutorials, they do classes. These are like well-known people and they have classes they can do and so on. But everyone will give you the how they do it and their knowledge.
Mm.
So I would not suggest doing just one of them. I would say do all of them
Mm.
because if you do just one, you think you got it. If you do all of them, your knowledge will be much greater. And then you
Mm.
can infuse them all together to make yourself better. So for me is I look all of them and I like all of their work. I don't look just the one. And I think
Mm.
they're amazing. They're like amazing in the work they do. But I look at all of their work and combine it together, try and find something different, or even with mine, whoever. You just constantly have to look at all. So if they can do all of them, not just one class, but do it from multiple different people, would be much beneficial to an individual.
I think as well, you develop your own sort of signature style by doing that as well,
Yeah,
don't you? You kind of find your rhythm and
what
you
works
find
for
what
you?
you're good at. Yeah, and what works for you, absolutely. Like you were
Yeah,
saying earlier about, just wait a minute because I don't do it in that order, I do it
yeah.
my own way, and that's
So
so true.
everyone can teach you how they do it and what they do, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna work for everyone.
Mm.
So you can teach everyone how I do it or how other people do it and so on and so on. But eventually that person needs to find their own way of doing it and their own rhythm.
Mm.
So everything they learn, we teach and we give and everything that. But it's just showing you how we do it. Yeah. And eventually it's for you just so you understand how it works and what to do. But then you gotta find that your way and fit it into how so it suits you that makes you work better.
Mm. How is it different being a business owner from being a service provider?
I don't consider myself as a business owner. I never try
Don't
and
you?
I'd never look at it. I always
Yeah,
just try and I always I don't like to think of myself as a business owner. I just
that's
think like
interesting.
just I'm just going on. I'm just like I'm here. I love my job. I love doing
Mm.
barbering. And I love meeting people. So the business side is I've done it as simple as possible. So it's pretty much done automated. So I don't need to do
Mm.
too much doing it because I hate paperwork.
Yeah,
I hate
it's
paperwork.
smart.
I just love to be cutting in the shop, cutting hair, meeting people, just being in that kind of environment. But at the same time, you can't switch off. So the business side is, even though I don't like it, I try not to look into it. You can't switch off
No, it's hard.
because then everything comes crumbling down. Um, the business side is like, how can I put it? It's necessary. You have to.
Mm.
Yeah. Whether you like it or not, you have to, and
You have
it's a
to
must.
show up. Mm.
Yeah. it's a must. But the service side is the most enjoyable bit because you love it, you enjoy it. That's the whole thing. But you need the business side, and you cannot switch off a single bit.
Mm.
So I always try on the business side. If I get an email or if I get something, whether it's a paperwork or like a even a fine from anything. I remember if I got a fine before or something, I'm like, oh no, I gotta pay this. Then I just gotta get rid of this somehow.
Yeah, get it
Now I'm
done.
like, why have I got a fine? Let me call you. Why are you doing that? And then when I'm finally calling him, it's like, oh, it's just a mistake or something like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just I'm always in the business side. I'll try and deal with it right there and then as soon as I get it
Yeah.
and stay
Yeah,
on
that's the
top
best
of it.
way, yeah, and stay on top and not let things, like you say,
Accumulate.
pile up. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Because then it gets a lot easier to bury the head in the sand and think, "I'll tackle that another day," because that's just too much for me to handle.
yeah. And
Yeah.
the biggest also thing in the business is you got to control your cost.
Mm.
That's the biggest thing. So every year, at the end
How
of
have
the
you
year,
found that, Aldo, over the past couple of years? Because obviously we've had a massive increase in business rates and things like that, the cost of
everything
electricity and
like
gas and
it's
yeah,
not
like
it's not been easy. Not just
mm,
for me, but for everyone. Like in some industries where I did, but it's not been easy.
mm,
You just have to make it work. So obviously, I had to increase cost, but I've tried to refrain
mm,
myself to not increase too much and try and be as fair as possible. So I
mm,
increased costs when I needed to, but I've also had to cut costs wherever I could
yeah,
and try and look after as much as possible. So it's just controlling the cost because like you can't just increase the cost to anything you want because you got
yeah,
to look at the average wage or a daily person's wage.
mm,
Because if their rent and their bills and everything's gone up, the first thing they're going to cut the cost is on themselves.
yeah,
So you
absolutely.
have to be fair. So it's a massive thing. There's been a massive cost increase on like electric, water, rent,
Mm,
everything. Yep, I've also try and be fair is just keep it as manageable as possible. So try and control where I've cut cost in so many other
mm.
aspects, and then had to increase a little cost, not too much. So
Yeah,
it's
it's a
managing all of
juggling
that.
act, isn't it? Yeah, it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
I think more than ever, but like you say, that's affected businesses nationwide in all different sectors, really. Um, so what's next for you, Aldo, then, and what's next for the shop?
Next for the shop, obviously, shop is growing. I'm still looking, trying to recruit, looking more staff. Um, Ideally, I would like a bigger premises.
Mm.
Like I do have other ambitions, but it's hard to like. I'm not the type of person that would say like I want to do it, but it's just finding the right thing. And I can't say, for example, like I'm gonna do it because I never try and make like a 5 year plan. That's
No,
never
I'm
been
the
my thing.
same.
For me, is I
No,
have a list. I have a
yeah,
list. So the first priority on that list, I gotta get that done. Then it
yeah,
comes the next bit, then the next bit. So obviously grow the business more, but I just need a bigger, I would love to get bigger premises. And I would love to own that premises myself. So I
okay,
don't have to worry about rental increase. And then
yeah,
I have to feed that rental increase into clients or anywhere. So I would like to buy my own premises so I can
mm,
secure all increase or anything like that. So I never have to worry on implementing on clients. If I get
mm,
bigger, if I get bigger premises, then that means I can also try and introduce with a bit, like I said to you, like oh,
mm,
my next one is to make the shop bigger by doing barbering, tattoos, colors, maybe nails. Or I'm not sure about that, but it's just
mm,
thinking about if I need the right space and make it pretty much what I do with my shop, a
mm.
comfortable environment for everyone that comes, feel comfortable, have a drink, relax, fun atmosphere. Everyone's free to talk and have a laugh. I want that, but I want it in like a bigger scale, as in implement like coloring in there as well, and tattooing and while doing barbering, and maybe nail or not. I'm not 100% sure how that fits.
I think that's a good goal to have, Aldo, and I think it's it's a humble and realistic one as well. And I think, like you say, it's looking after what you've got. I think sometimes it's easy to lose sight of that a little bit and
Yeah,
chasing those really really big goals of having so many branches and all of those things. And sometimes it's just good to have a really successful foundation and really
it
just
is. Look, you can
work
chase
on
the, you can chase the multiple numbers of different barbershops, it doesn't guarantee you success. Like
True.
McDonald's, for example, they have a successful franchise, so is KFC. But people forget they don't make most of the money from selling
Mm,
products.
mm,
They make most of the money because of the land. They're the
mm,
biggest land owners in the world.
mm,
Their biggest success is because they own the land of the McDonald's and they control the franchises and they sell them and do how they want.
mm.
So you
Yeah,
can't have multiple shops because then you have multiple rents,
yeah.
multiple business rates, multiple electricity, water bills, wages. So the numbers may be good that I've got multiple businesses, multiple shops, but your outgoings is also multiples.
Mm. Yeah, especially
Mm,
in this landscape at the moment, Aldo, you're completely right.
yeah,
So we are coming to the end of our episodes. You've been, you know, inspirational, I would say, and it's been really, really interesting in talking to you. It's been nice to hear about the world of barbering in detail. It's a new one for us. We've not had anyone like
thank you.
yourself on, so that's been really, really good.
Really
And thank you
appreciate
for
it.
being.
I've really
You've
enjoyed it
no, we've
talking to you
really,
as well. Like this is a first
yeah.
for me, and this has been really amazing as well.
Great. No, I've loved it. I think you've been really transparent. I think that's really, really refreshing for people to hear. And there's been loads of solid advice from you as well. So I'm sure anybody's listening who's interested in even opening a premises or anything like that, they've got so much to gain from listening to you, Aldo. If you could just
Thank
tell
you.
our listeners where they can find you online.
So obviously, like I said, I'm not very good with social media and all this. I've very simple, just Facebook and Instagram and on Google Maps. So we're based in Bristol. Our social media is Aldo's Barbershop underscore 26. And Facebook, same thing, is all linked in together. And yeah, like I said, we're based in Bristol. So these are the main two things I tend to use.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Aldo. You've been amazing. And we'll catch up with you in a year's time and see where you're at.
Hopefully by then I'll have a bigger premises.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Aldo.
So, take care. You have a lovely day. Bye bye.